Anytime an innocent victim is gunned down in our community, we all bear responsibility for bringing the person or persons responsible to justice. I frequently go to meetings across this city, and people frequently ask me how they can help. This is one of those times when we need your help. Yesterday, at approximately 10:16 a.m., members of the 7th District were flagged down for a shooting in the 2400 block of Elvans Road, southeast. When officers got on the scene, they found an adult female and an adult male suffering from gunshot wounds. Both victims were taken to area hospitals where the adult female, identified as 68-year-old Vivian Marrow, was pronounced dead. Vivian was making her regular trip to a local market in her community in her wheelchair. A grown man who apparently had some kind of beef or dispute with someone else felt it was okay to fire multiple shots in this neighborhood. Well, guess what? That reckless behavior has resulted in the death of a beloved community member. Vivian Marrow, in addition to being a beloved community member, is also a mother and a grandmother. Her friends, her neighbors, her children, one of whom is here, and her grandchildren deserve to know who is responsible for her senseless death. I'm asking anyone with information to please do the right thing and call the police on 202-727-9099, or you can send an anonymous tip to the text tip line of 50411. I'm joined here by the commander of our homicide division and by Deputy Mayor Kevin Donahue, and we can take any questions that you might have.
There was a crime camera almost right above where this happened. Did the crime camera capture the shooting?
We're not in a position right now, Pat, to discuss any of the evidence in the case. One of our goals of this announcement here today is to make sure that the community realizes the importance of this. And we are urging folks, we believe somebody in that neighborhood knows exactly what happened, the circumstances under which it happened, and probably the person who's responsible. And we really want to draw attention to that, so maybe we can wrestle some of that information free from the community.
But Chief, what about pictures? If you have pictures, wouldn't it help to release those?
It would. And in the normal course, if we feel that we have information that will help us identifying the suspects, we will get that out. We're not in a position to do that at this point. Yes, sir.
So, Chief, was this a shootout? Were people shooting at each other? What was the circumstance?
Yeah, I can't go into too much detail on that. Initially, we thought it was an exchange, but now we believe it may have been just one shooter.
Shooting at these people intentionally?
It looks like it was the victim, Vivian, was not an intended target from what we understand. There may have been somebody else who was an intended target, but she was not. She was an innocent bystander on her way to the market.
What about the male who was shot?
That remains to be seen. That's part of the investigation. We're still trying to unravel that.
Was there a third person that might have been a target?
We don't know at this time. That's the type of detail, Sam, that we're trying to kind of get out of anybody who may have seen something. You know, it was broad daylight. It was a relatively mild day in that community. There were a number of people out there. I was up on the scene shortly after it happened. And so those are the folks that we really want to listen, and if they have some information, to share it with us.
One thing, other thing, too, I don't know if you or the homicide chief can tell us. We noticed there are bullet holes in two signs there. One of the sign announcing that this is a police camera, and then another sign. Are those new bullet holes, or were they already there, or do we know?
I was asked that question earlier, and that would be evidentiary in nature, so we're not going to talk about it. But it's a shame that we will go into any community in this city and have bullet holes in signs. It's disgraceful, and I will attribute that to the person who's responsible in this case, the person who felt that they could go out there and indiscriminately fire a weapon on the streets of the District of Columbia. And I really want to focus our efforts, our community's efforts on identifying that person. This is a family who had a loving mother, a loving grandmother. By all accounts, the people in that community love this woman, and she's gone unnecessarily. They're going to have to struggle with this for the rest of their lives, and the person who was responsible for this needs to be brought into custody.
Pete, when you talk to people up there last night, today, when I went up there, it's a general belief that this is some kind of a tit-for-tat beef between Vistas and Wellington Park, and that this is all connected to ongoing violence that's gone on up there. The shooting on the bus that you had up there last year or 2 years ago, the 5-year-old who was shot down in the playground there off Pomeroy Road. Is this all connected?
That's the type of information that if you have folks coming forward to you that we would love to have. If somebody has some specifics regarding a motive or what this beef was about, the only thing I can tell you now is we do not have a motive in this case. We are working tirelessly to find out what the motive was. At the end of the day, we are pretty certain that there is somebody out there that knows something. And the biggest thing that they can do for us and for this community and for Washington, D.C. as a whole is to come forward and let us know.
Do you have information now that the gunman was masked?
That's the type of detail that I don't want to discuss at this point. In the event that we do make an arrest in the case, those details will become available through the court process.
Do you think because Mara was so well known in the community that will increase your chances of hearing from somebody?
I certainly hope so. The circumstance is, like I said, it's senseless. It's tragic. This was a beloved person. And even, I'll even say to the person who is responsible, you know what? You need to come in and let us know what you did. You may have had a beef with somebody else. It may have been another adult male, whoever. You've taken a woman out of our community who had no business losing her life at this point.
Chief, we noticed a lot of police presence today. In the past, police have said there hasn't been enough police presence there, and that could have led to this incident.
Yeah, I don't know about that in particular. We have constant police presence over in that part of the city. We are aware that we still do have some crime challenges in that area. Paul mentioned we have had shootings there in the past. So we're going to continue to work on getting these illegal guns off the street, these repeat violent offenders off the street, to make sure that we don't have another circumstance like this ever.
Is there any consideration of adding more presence up there right now?
We'll play it by ear. If there's some suggestion out there that this may be retaliatory in nature, or if there will be any retaliation, we'll obviously have resources up there. I think the young lady over here pointed out that she's seen additional resources in her trips to that particular neighborhood. I can tell you this: we're 100% committed to finding out who's responsible, get that person off the street. All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Chief,
yes, sir.
Does a family member want to say anything today?
That's up. He says no.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Take care.
It's over.